Why timing matters in relationships, the case for healing before loving. There are moments in life when everything feels like it's falling apart. Maybe it's the aftermath of a breakup, the loss of a loved one, a job failure, or an internal identity crisis. In those raw and vulnerable periods, it's tempting to believe that the quickest path to feeling whole again is to find someone new, someone to love, someone to hold, someone to lean on. And while human connection is vital, relying on a romantic relationship to patch emotional wounds can often lead to even deeper harm for both people involved. What you actually need: internal grounding. In times of crisis, what we truly need isn't another person to save us, it's ourselves. We need clarity, self-connection, and emotional stability. We need grounding. It's like trying to build a house during an earthquake. Even with the best materials and intentions, nothing can stand firm on unstable ground. When you're in emotional freefall, you might crave someone who can offer comfort, reassurance, and love. But no matter how kind or supportive that person is, if you haven't found your footing within yourself, you'll unknowingly project your wounds onto them. You'll expect them to make you feel whole, and that's not fair, to you or to them. The false safety of external support. There's a big difference between healthy interdependence and emotional dependency. The former is when two emotionally mature people support each other while maintaining their own inner stability. The latter is when one or both people lean too heavily on the other to regulate their emotions, find meaning, or escape their pain. In the short term, leaning on someone else might feel good. It might even feel like love. But what's actually happening is that the relationship becomes a coping mechanism, a distraction from the deeper healing work that needs to take place. This kind of dynamic often creates imbalances. One partner becomes the savior while the other becomes the rescued. Eventually, resentment builds. The rescuer may feel emotionally drained or trapped, while the rescued may feel guilty, ashamed, or overly dependent. What started as comfort turns into a cycle of unmet needs, confusion, and disappointment. Timing isn't just about readiness, it's about integrity. Entering a relationship before you've stabilized emotionally doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how you treat others. You may not have the capacity to offer real love, patience, or understanding when your own system is overwhelmed by fear, grief, or instability. And if your partner is also struggling, the situation becomes even more volatile. Two people hoping to be saved, neither in a position to do the saving. There's something deeply respectful and self-aware about recognizing when you're not ready for a relationship. It means you're honoring your own process and also protecting someone else from being pulled into a dynamic that could become unhealthy. It's not weakness. It's emotional maturity. Loneliness isn't a sign you need a relationship. It's a signal to come home to yourself. When you're in pain, loneliness can be especially intense. It can feel like a void, a black hole that nothing can fill. But that aching sensation isn't necessarily calling for another person, it's calling for you. It's your own spirit asking to be seen, heard, and held by you. Many people try to fill this void with romantic connection, only to find that the loneliness persists. That's because the problem isn't the absence of love from others, it's the absence of self-connection. You can be in a relationship and still feel painfully alone if you're not grounded in your own inner world. Learning to be with yourself through difficulty is one of the most powerful forms of emotional resilience. It teaches you to trust your own strength, to validate your feelings, and to rebuild a sense of identity that isn't dependent on someone else's presence or approval. Relationships work best when they add to your life, not fill a hole. Healthy love is about sharing your life, not about handing over your broken pieces for someone else to fix. When you've done the work to find emotional stability, self-awareness, and inner peace, a relationship becomes a source of joy, not survival. It enhances your life. It doesn't define it. People who are grounded within themselves are more likely to form partnerships that are based on mutual respect, honest communication, and realistic expectations. They're not asking someone to rescue them, they're asking someone to walk beside them. When you wait, you invite something deeper. Choosing to pause, especially when you're longing for connection, takes immense courage. It means facing your pain instead of escaping it. But that pause can be the very thing that changes your life. It gives you time to understand your patterns, your needs, your wounds, and your boundaries. It gives you space to rediscover who you are outside.